showed a very developed science of measuring and predicting the rise and fall of fertility of the land.
Each temple had a Nilometer, and in flood season it was connected with the Nile. I'm not sure exactly how, but whatever the flood level was, it would come into the Nilometer, and the stairs are carefully calibrated, X number of digits, and whatever level it came up to allowed the priests, told the priests exactly what the harvest was going to be. You knew exactly what the flood was going to be, and that determined the harvest. There's no rain to speak of, or at all, for years and years and years. So this tells them it's taxation in advance, because they can levy the taxes according to what they know, given, unless there's a plague of locusts or something of that sort, they know exactly what they're going to get from the level of the Nile. And because the level of the Nile is different at various sites, depending on the width of the floodplain and a number of other factors, they need a Nilometer at each precinct or each nome to be able to tell them how much water for that particular area. So this is a pretty matter-of-fact looking one. When we get to Komombo, there's a very spectacular, beautiful, round, deep Nilometer.
The Egyptians understood the laws of cyclical fertility so well that they could predict the crop rates by careful measure of the level of the Nile at key points in the yearly cycle. Is it possible that the Egyptians also observed a science of predicting the rise and fall of intelligence throughout the day, the longer cycle of the months and years, and the grand celestial cycle of the yugas? They may, in fact, have left a record, forever reminding us that our intelligence and our consciousness rise and fall like the tides, like the eternal cycles of wakefulness and sleep. Once we begin to look, we become aware of our daily fluctuations of consciousness or awareness, of low blood sugar slumps, of peak times, our on times, times of maximum creative yield. We begin to become aware of the high and low tides of our capability, our strengths and weaknesses, in flux throughout the day as we pass through the decades. Our thoughts, our minds, ourselves, our awareness, our personalities are different at different parts of the day. This can in part be related to the ebb and flow of electrolytes, endorphins, adrenaline, serotonin, and other neurotransmitters, but what determines the cycle that causes their rise and fall? The ancients indicate that consciousness is influenced by external forces, and in fact may even originate outside of us. The ancient model holds that the consciousness we experience exhibits a resonance with certain astral bodies. Some texts go as far as to identify a specific star as the source or the wellspring of the universal consciousness we all participate